Hey everyone, and Merry Christmas to all my amazing fans around the world. It is so great to see you guys again. My name is Tate, and I'm the host of the podcast, and I'm so excited to tell you all that today is officially the day where I talk about a story that I created for all of you for this Christmas Eve. So, for this episode, we are going to be doing, you guys actually are going to be listening to the story that I've created for the Christmas season, and it's the first installment of my second anthology horror series called Tate's Nightmare Collection, and this story is called The Monster Santa. Now, this story takes place when 12-year-old boy named Alex, who tries to believe in Santa, which he sort of doesn't, and then when he was trying to have a good time at Christmas Eve, he got warnings from his grandmother of what not to do, but if he breaks any rules, something sinister will be coming for him. So he was kind of confused of what his grandmother was saying, until he soon realizes what happens that Christmas Eve night. So guys, I'm so excited for y'all to listen to it. So I'm going to start reading it to you guys, and let's get right into the story of The Monster Santa.
Episode 1, The Monster Santa.
The snow had begun as a gentle drift that Christmas Eve morning, dusting rooftop and frosting the streets. By sundown, it had become a blizzard, snow piling high, winds howling, the outside world swallowed in white silence. The Carter family home was a warm island against the storm. Inside, the smell of roasted ham lingered from dinner. A pine tree glittered in the corner, its branches weighing down with ornaments collected over the years. A glass angel, a wooden soldier, paper snowflakes Emma had made at school. The fire in the living room crackled bright, keeping the chill at bay. For most of the evening, laughter fills the house. Emma, only 8, kept shaking the presents under the tree, whispering guesses. Alex, 12, rolled his eyes and told her she was ruining the surprise. Their parents smiled, sipping hot chocolate, and for a while, the world felt safe. But there were shadows too. Grandma had called earlier, her voice cutting through the static on the line before the storm knocked out the phone service completely. She told them the old story again, her warnings. Don't stay awake at midnight. Don't tempt him. Leave out cookies, but only fresh. And all above, don't look at him. He doesn't like to be seen. Emma giggled, hiding under her blanket. Their mother chuckled, shaking her head at the silly old tales. But Alex noticed the way his father didn't laugh. He only stared into the flames, bow forward, as if those words meant something more to him. Later, when Emma had finally gone to bed, she left her stuffed reindeer on the couch. Alex picked it up, turning it over in his hand. He wasn't sure if he believed in Grandma's story, but something about tonight felt different. The storm seemed too strong, the wind too sharp. He wandered to the window, wiping away frost with his sleeve. Across the street, the neighbor's house was dark. That wasn't unusual. They left town for the holidays, but their Christmas lights, which had glowed red and green all December, were gone. Torn down. The wires dangled loose, ripped as if by claws. Beneath them, the snow was disturbed. Alex leaned closer. The tracks weren't from boots. They were too large, too deep. 4-point dugs into the snow, dragging behind as though something had scraped across the ground. Hooves. Alex stepped back from the window, heart thumping. He wanted to wake his parents, but the thought of them dismissing it, telling him he was imagining things, kept him silent. The house ticked with silence, broken only by a social pop of firewood. Shadows stretched long across the wall as the clock edged closer to midnight. That was when Alex heard it. At first, so faint he thought it was the wind. Bells. But not cheerful ones. Not the jingling melody from songs and cartoons. These sounded wrapped, metallic, as if the bells themselves were broken, cracked, dragging against each other with each movement. The sound grew louder, closer. Alex pressed against the window again, peering out into the storm. The snow wiped so hard he could barely see across the yard. But through the white curtains, he swore he saw shapes moving. Something massive, lumbering. The crunch of hooves echoed again, uneven, heavy, and shaking the air. He stumbled back, knocking over Emma's stuffed reindeer. The clock in the hallway ticked louder, as though marking each second before midnight. And then, from upstairs, he heard Emma's voice. "Alex, did you hear that?" His mouth went dry. He didn't answer. He couldn't. The bells rattled again, sharp and unnatural. Above, the roof creaked, snow slipping off in heavy clumps. Something was up there. Something too heavy to be the wind. The fire flickers low, shadows dancing across the hearth. Ash swirls up the chimney, falling in small flakes to the floor. Alex swallowed hard, his breath fogging in the chill that suddenly filled the room. He grabbed a blanket, pulling it tight around him, eyes glued to the fireplace. The clock ticked towards midnight. The fire sputtered, and somewhere above, the hooves scrubbed closer to the chimney. The snow was falling heavily that Christmas Eve, the kind of storm that muffled the world and made everything outside feel far away. Inside the Carter family home, the fireplace burned bright, stockings swayed gently above it, and the children were already in bed, dreaming of Santa's arrival. But 12-year-old Alex Carter wasn't asleep. He never really believed in Santa Claus. Not after he found out the truth at school. Still, there was a part of him that wanted to see what came down that chimney at midnight. He stayed curled under his blanket in the living room. The fire crackled low, the clock ticking towards 12. At first, he thought he heard the sound of sleigh bells. But these weren't the cheerful jingles from Christmas songs. No, these bells sound cracked, wrapped, like rustled iron banging together. Then he heard something heavier. The crunch of hooves on the roof. The reindeer. Only, they didn't sound right. Their steps were uneven, dragging, accompanied by deep animalistic snort that made Alex's stomach twist. The chimney rattled. Ash rained down into the fireplace, hissing as it hits the flames. Something was coming down. Something too large, too heavy. The scraping of claws against bricks filled the room as Alex's eyes widened. And then, with a sickening thud, he appeared. It was Santa. But not the Santa anyone would want to see. His red suit was torn, fur trim blackening and stiff with what looked like dried blood. His beard hung long and filthy, tangled in shoots, chunks of flesh, and broken candy canes sharpened into points. His face was paled, stretched tight like leather over bone, and his eyes, hollow, coal black pits, searched the room. He grinned, lips splitting to reveal jagged yellow teeth. Ho, ho, ho. The sound was wet, guttural like something laughing through a broken throat. Alex froze, heart pounding. The monster Santa dropped his sack onto the floor, and it moved. It writhed, shapes pressing against the fabric. Alex heard muffled cries inside, children's voices, crying for help, then silence as the sack tightens. The creature sniffed the air, head jerking towards the plate of cookies on the table. With a twitching hand, he picked one up, snapping it in half, and hissed. They were cold. The rules. Alex remembered the old whispers from his grandmother. Never stay awake past midnight. Never leave cookies out unless they're fresh. And never, ever look at Santa. He'd broken two already. The monster Santa turned towards the tree. With each step, his boot left black tar-like stains in the carpet. Ornaments trembled and fell as his massive shadow loomed. He reached into the branches and pulled out a candy cane, twisting it into a sharp spiral point. That's when Alex's little sister, Emma, shuffled into the room, rubbing her eyes. Alex, did Santa come? The monster's head snapped towards her, mouth opening wide. Alex leaped from behind the couch, screaming, "Run, Emma! Run upstairs!" The thing lunged, too fast for something so huge, knocking over the table, the plate of cookies shattering. Emma screeched and bolted for the stairs as Alex grabbed the fireplace poker. He swung widely, the metal striking the creature's arm. The monster hardly flinched. It only grinned wider. With inhuman strength, it slammed Alex against the wall. His vision blurred. The claws came close, scratching deep lines into the wallpaper beside his head. Then came the sound. The bells again, louder this time. The reindeer above stamped their hooves, the house shaking as snow tumbled from the roof. The monster grabbed Alex by the collar, dragging him toward the sack. From inside, the muffled screams of other children rose again, hands pressing against the fabric. Alex kicked and screamed, his voice breaking. "Mom! Dad! Help!" But no one came. The house was silent, except for the creak of stairs above. Emma watching, too scared to move. The creature opened the sack, and the smell hit Alex. Rotten sugar, ash, and blood. Inside, the faces of children twisted in silent screams before being swallowed by the darkness. Alex clawed at the floor, fingernails tearing, but the monster was too strong. And then midnight struck. The clock chimed 12. The monster froze, head jerking towards the sound. It hissed, teeth snapping, and then, in a flash of snot and fire, it dragged the sack back up the chimney. The walls shook, the sound of scrapping claws fading into the storm above. Silence. The living room was destroyed, the stockings shredded, ornaments shattered, suits covering the floor. The only sign of the Monster Santa was a single blackened candy cane, twisted and sharp, lying in the ashes. Alex was gone. Emma crept down the stairs, trembling, clutching the railing. She picked up the candy cane with shaking hands, staring at the chimney. Outside, far above the storm, came the sound again, distant, echoing across the night sky. Ho, ho, ho. And then the sleigh bells, dragging off into the darkness, searching for the next home. The Carter home was silent. The fire had died, leaving nothing but ash and smoke in the hearth. The Christmas tree leaned sideways, ornaments shattered across the floor. The stockings hung in tatters, and the only sound left was the clock, ticking past midnight. Emma stood at the bottom of the stairs, clutching the sharp, blackening candy cane in her hand. Her breath shook. Her eyes stayed fixed on the fireplace, the place where her brother had vanished. Then, footsteps thundered down the stairs. Their parents rushed in, eyes widened, demanding answers. Her mother asked, "Where is Alex?" Her father called his name into the storm of silence. And Emma only pointed at the chimney. Her small voice cracked as she whispered, "Santa took him." Her parents froze. For the first time, Emma saw real fear in their eyes. Not the kind parents show to scare children into behaving. No. It was different. This was recognition. Her father muttered something under his breath, words Emma almost didn't catch. "Mother warned me." Within the hour, the family was in the car, pushing through the storm, tires skidding on the snow-choked roads. Emma clenched the twisted candy cane like a weapon, refusing to let it go. They arrived at Grandma's old farmhouse, and there, already waiting in the doorway, was Grandma. Her eyes were hard, cold, as if she'd been expecting them. Her voice was steady when she said, "You broke the rules." Emma burst into tears, sobbing into her grandma's hand. She cried, "He took Alice. We have to get him back." But Grandma only shook her head. "Once he takes a child," she whispers, "there's no bringing them back. All you can do now is make sure he doesn't return for you." Emma's heart froze at those words, because Grandma wasn't talking about if he came back. She was talking about when. A year later, at Christmas Eve, the storm returned, the same howling blizzard, the same white curtains swallowing the world. But in Emma's room, things were different. There were no stockings on the mantel, no cookies on the table, no trees glittering in the corner. Just Emma, sitting at her window, the sharp candy cane hidden under her pillow. 9-year-old now, her eyes were older, colder. She whispered into the dark, her voice steady. If you come back, I'll be ready. And then she heard it. The faint rattle of bells in the storm. The crunch of hooves across the roof. The creak of claws against the chimney bricks. Emma's hand closed around the weapon beneath her pillow. This time, she wasn't afraid. This time, she was waiting. Okay, there you go, guys. That was the Monster Santa, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Like, I loved working on this so badly, and I'm so proud that everything has been going great with the story when I've been working on it. And yeah, it's just fantastic. So guys, this concludes today's video of Horror Talks with Tate. Thank you so much for listening to this terrifying story and the first installment of Tate's Nightmare Collection, and I cannot wait to make more for you guys. So guys, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to be notified for any future videos coming very soon. And I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas with your family and friends wherever you guys are. And I'm going to be having a great time this Christmas. And I hope you guys have a great one too. So thanks again for listening. This is Tate Irons from Horror Talks with Tate. Stay spooky, and I will see you in the next video. Merry Christmas.